creatures cannot be considered human. These creatures are nothing but pure, motorized instinct.
What the hell are they?
They're us, that's all. Something my granddaddy used to tell us. He used to tell us, when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
They must be destroyed on sight.
Welcome, everybody, to Midnight Cinema. I am Art Hennessy in San Diego.
And this is Erik reporting live from Salem, Massachusetts, where it seems like the entire population is overrun with zombies. That's my helicopter.
That's right, because you are... You're from Kalo? Is that the news station here?
KY.
Yeah.
Gel. No, I don't know. KY Gel. Inappropriate. Once again.
As you may know from Erik's introduction, we are talking this week about Dawn of the Dead, 1978 movie directed by George Romero, starring David Emge, Ken Foree,
What
Scott
the hell did you say?
Ridger, and Galen Ross. I don't know how to pronounce
what?
his name.
I don't know.
Also, I should add, and Tom Savini, special effects.
right? Yeah.
Tom Savini is in
Tom
this as well.
Savini's in it. Yeah.
So Dawn of the Dead is, of course, the sequel to the very famous black and white film Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero's famous zombie movie. And this is a sequel that came out a number of years later.
Yeah, 10
10
years.
years.
10 years
Yeah.
later. Yep.
And fun fact, Tom Savini was supposed to work on the special effects in the first Night of the Living Dead, but he was drafted into Vietnam and could not do it.
Was. I wanted to cover this one because, one, it's a great movie for horror fans. If you haven't seen this one, go away. Go away. Go watch something else. But this movie was apparently NC-17, so no one allowed in under 17. And I remember my stepfather taking us to a midnight showing. He was a cop or something. He got us in for free. And this movie is the very reason why a person of my age is still terrified of zombies. To this day, it was this movie that did it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it that young. So you probably saw it around when it came out, right? Or maybe a couple of years after it at like a midnight screening or something.
Yeah, midnight screening. I think if I was 13, that was about it. So how we got in...
That was about the age that I saw it too, Erik. This was in middle school. I was working at a summer camp in the kitchen, and the counselors were a little older, and they used to take us on the weekends to the drive-in movie theater that was up there in New Hampshire. For anybody who's in New Hampshire, it was the Ossipee Drive-In, I think, was the one there. And so they take us, and they took us to see, this was the double feature at the drive-in. Dawn of the Dead, followed by The Evil Dead, Sam Raimi's movie. Was the pairing. So this would have been a couple of years after Dawn of the Dead had come out, and I think they were pairing those up to do the drive-in circuit.
I thought you were going to say Dawn of the Dead, followed by Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah, Disney's The Rescuers. No. It was Hot Lead and Cold Feet with Don Knotts. Yeah, so
The Ghost of Mr. Chicken. All right, that's enough. That's enough.
That's enough. Why are we talking about Don Knotts? He has nothing to do with Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead. Don Knotts of the Dead.
Don Knotts of the Dead. He would have made a good zombie too. He's got the eyes, like, whoa. He'd be like, oh, I'm going to gut you. I'm going to bite you. Watch out.
So imagine, Erik, you watch Dawn of the Dead, then you watch Evil Dead, and then they drive us back to the cabin in the woods where we stay as the kitchen crew. A little cabin surrounded by woods, not near any of the other campers because we're the help. And then you're trying to go to sleep.
Yep. They hated you guys. They wanted you guys gone.
Seriously.
Yeah. Dawn of the Dead. But I mean, rewatching it, I haven't seen it in a long time, but rewatching it now, I can handle it a lot better, and plus the music is quite dated, but there's still some scenes where I just have to squint because those are the scenes where I remember being emotionally distraught, and then emotionally distraught with the characters as well. I hate zombies, Art. I don't like them.
And we get some people talking about zombies in a very philosophical and scientific way in this movie. And let's talk about it right here. Romero is a good director because I think his films, there's something about elements of them that really hit you at your core. It's hard to explain, but the zombies, the way he constructs things, and usually the music. This was a strange one because I don't know if you know this, Eric, but there are like 3 major versions of this movie, 4 in total.
Yeah, because Argento is a horror icon as well. From Rome, Italy. Right?
He's Italian. Yeah.
Yeah, and he did Suspiria. But he met with George Romero, and they didn't speak each other's language. So I thought that's hilarious, first of all. But he let George Romero write the script in Rome, and then he just said, "I want to do my own version of it with your footage, and I want these musicians called the Goblins to do the soundtrack."
Mm-hmm. And Goblin, if people have seen Suspiria, that's Goblin, right? On the soundtrack for Suspiria.
Another movie too young to watch with the Goblins. The Goblins music actually scared me. Diddly diddly dee. Witch. How scary is that? It's not la 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 diddly dee. I mean, I was terrified with that music.
Yeah. And so there is a version out there that Dario Argento cut and laced with Goblin music all through it. There's also the one I think you and I watched for this podcast. Did you watch this on Amazon?
Yes.
Yes.
I did.
So that is what people call the extended cut. Or the director's cut of the film. And it's a little longer. It runs about 2 hours and 27 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It's a little longer than the original one, which was the theatrical cut, which is what you and I would have seen when we were younger, which cuts out some of the backstory and I'll just say it's slower moments that are in this extended cut. And then some guy, I don't know if you found this in your research, Eric, I haven't watched it yet, did what he calls the extended mall hours cut. He took all of the versions, and so he included everything. So some versions show things, some versions don't, some versions have added scenes. He basically put in all of the footage you can possibly see for it. I think it runs about 2 hours and 50 minutes. And so... And then I think he put in the Goblin music, I think, so for a lot of it. So
not sure I'm ready to see more mall. I don't know. I think I got enough with the theatrical. The extended cut. Yeah.
The extended cut. Yeah. So let's talk about it. So
I'm scared. I'm a little scared to talk about it. I'm going to get scared. I might leave at certain moments and come back. So you just keep going if I leave. Okay.
This one really hit you deep, huh?
Oh man, it's not scary, but it's scary. I'm terrified. It's sort of there's a lot of comedic moments, and the music for some of it, even with the zombies, it's like it's just. But still, for me, the haunting of the original time I saw it sits with me. So, all right, let's go. But I don't really want to start at the beginning.
Well, we'll start there because it's interesting. I find it interesting where we start because I love a zombie movie, and I always want to figure out how is the world handling the zombie crisis, not just some family on the farm or some one family in the house. I'm just always curious about what's going on in the government offices, what's going on in the media, what's going on here in the science, in the CDC, what's happening. And here we start in a newsroom. We start right there. We meet our female lead here. The character's name is Francine, and we see her having a nightmare. She's sleeping against it's an interesting first shot, right, Eric? It's like the total 70s wall of shag carpet. When it first started, I hadn't seen the movie in a long time, and I'm like, what are we looking at here? That's what I love about stuff like that, an opening shot where you're like, what am I seeing? Is this a carpet?
Yeah. which is great because you don't know where you are, and then
Yes.
she's just then you figure out they're in the news station. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and the news station is kind of mayhem. There, you definitely get the feeling things are breaking down just by the way the newsroom is acting. There's a there's a talk show going on, and everybody in the newsroom is throwing papers around. Some people look like they don't give a shit. Some people look like they're just hanging out. And there is a conflict that starts going on right from the beginning. They're talking about, on the bottom of the news reel, there are scrolls like, I grew up in Massachusetts, you did too, school closures where they just sort of roll school closures. Yeah. So here they're rolling what they call rescue stations. They're rolling those at the bottom of the crawl. And Francine is getting a little upset about this because she learns they're rolling stations that nobody's heard from. And so she's scared, well, we're going to send innocent people to these rescue stations and they're overrun with zombies.
I want to point out that in this mayhem, cameo George Romero as one of the operators that's yelling at his then girlfriend and then became his wife. So I thought that was funny that George Romero's in the opening scene, and he does a good job. He's all bearded and scraggly.
Yeah.
And this is a very real scene. It doesn't really sound scripted. So one of the guys said something like, he's trying to tell them what's happening and saying, the zombies will kill, and those people who were killed will get up and kill, or something like that. And it was a really good way of putting it. He's trying to point out, listen, this is what's happening.
Yeah, and it also had eerie parallels to COVID, our pandemic times, because it kind of starts off that conversation, Erik, with like, we have to control this situation. If people would just act without emotion and decide that they're going to follow the rules, we can nip this thing in the bud. But if people aren't following the rules, we can't. And I was like, oh my gosh, it just reminded me a lot of the pandemic as it came in. And there's a lot of talk, deal with it without emotion is what one of the people keeps saying. And we get our first mention that there's martial law has been declared. So we got all this mayhem, but in the background, we have that conversation going on. So we're hearing bits of it coming in and out. And sometimes you're seeing the actual talk show on the monitors. Sometimes you're seeing it backstage. Sometimes you're seeing it shot from up in the rafters. So we're seeing it from all of these different angles.
Yeah, it's a great scene. It's just showing you how just it's unraveled, and it starts you off just very upset. You start off very upset, and it really doesn't let go of you being upset for quite some time. And I will point out, I just the name of the radio station is or the TV place is WGON. So I thought, is that a clever W gone? We're gone. Everybody, I don't know. I just thought maybe that's a thing.
Because people are heading out. We should mention people are leaving, and there's police stationed around the entrances. And what I love is there's a blonde police guy standing there, and somebody goes, "Hey, why don't you stop that guy who just left?" And then the police officer just shrugs, grabs his coat, and he leaves. So we're getting the feeling that things are really, really not good right now. And we also get a little of, in the background laced in, bodies. We need to dispose of bodies. And we get this idea that people are, when their loved ones die, you gotta take their head off. You gotta hit them through the brain. I know they were your loved ones, but don't treat them like you would treat a normal person being buried.
Yep. And they're also telling people they can't stay at their places. They have to go to these secure places.
And then Stephen comes into the place, Stephen, and he tells Francine, you got to meet on the roof.
He's the helicopter guy. He's this is Steve, and I got to pick up my girlfriend, and they're going to go take off in a stolen helicopter.
Yeah. And then I like this, right before we're cutting out of this scene, she's talking to, a stagehand. He's got the headset on. He's like, you should go. he overheard the conversation. He goes,
Yep.
we're going to be off the air at midnight. Then it'll be emergency broadcast. And he said, our responsibility's all done here. Like
Yep.
we're finished. Like this is
Yeah.
now military's taken over the government.
Yep.
And
this is her boyfriend.
Stephen. Yes, Stephen.
Yeah, and you shouldn't. I mean, it's a work relationship. Those don't work out all the time. I don't. They both work at the same place. Could be problems. You know what I mean? You don't want to work with your spouse.
Exactly.
Who would do that, Art? Oh, both of us. Oh, crap.
And then we cut into SWAT team descending, building. Like we cut right into it, and they're up on the roof, and they're calling out to somebody. Is it Martinez or something? They're saying Martinez. They got the bullhorn, and we meet Roger here, right? He's one of the SWAT team members. He's up on the roof, and I could not really understand what was going on here. He seemed to be saying the lines before the guy was saying them, so I guess he were to make the idea that this is something they've been doing over and over again, is going to these tenement buildings or dwellings and trying to get people to come out and leave the things. Because he's right before the guy says it, Roger is like, come out, we're going to give you 3 minutes. And then the guy goes, we're going to give you 3 minutes. So
and you see that this guy, Roger, is a little bit on the calmer side. Like he seems to have his shit together.
Yeah.
But a lot of them don't.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Are you talking about Wooly?
Oh, this guy.
We meet Wooly, who is just spewing racism right from the get-go. He is in this for the fun of it. He's not in this to do anything to help the situation. He's a SWAT guy, and he just starts yelling racial slurs. And then right next to Roger, there's a younger guy, and Roger, like you said, is trying to tell this younger guy, keep cool, keep calm, just don't. Yeah.
Yep. Keep cool, keep calm. And then blam, he gets shot in the head.
Right in the head.
Yep.
And
when they're calling this, they're watching it, they pretty much cast like this is the inner city. Is it Philadelphia?
I think so. It's Pennsylvania. It's definitely
So there's Philadelphia. So there's a lot of in these projects here. They're saying there's a lot of like Hispanics and blacks, things like that. Like a lot of Latino, and so one of the guys who gets killed first, who comes out, it's clearly a white dude made up to look Hispanic. I tried to figure out why. I was thinking, why, with all of these people that they have that are, cast, that they're not wearing anything different, that they look like they're Hispanic, they're black. This one guy, it looks like he's doing a high school stage production of, I don't know. And then he gets shot. And so I had to look it up. And apparently this guy is part of the crew, and he plays a few different things throughout the movie. So they were trying to cover him up. I just I couldn't help but notice it just didn't work for me. But he got killed.
And so all these people are streaming out. We're on the roof of this building, so people from the building are coming out and shooting. It's a shootout with the SWAT team. And Roger, this is sort of we're getting some moments with Roger here. Like you said, he's a little bit more of a professional, I think. He corners one of these guys. He has the guy cornered, and he says to the guy, "Don't run, don't run. I got my gun on you. Don't run." And
Roger's handling the situation completely well. He's keeping his cool, where a lot of the others aren't. In fact, that one guy we talk about, Willie, is that what you said?
Wooly, I think is his name.
Wooly. So he's going crazy, and Roger's actually the only person taking it upon himself to try to subdue this guy, because he's just shooting people.
They go down the hall with gas. They throw gas in there, and Wooly is just he's shooting not only zombies. Like a door opens, we get probably the head blowing up. Like that's one of the.
Oh yes,
that's the first zombie we see in the movie, isn't it?
I don't.
So far, we haven't seen a zombie yet.
I don't remember if it was that or the zombie with the one leg gnawed off, 1 foot gnawed off.
Oh,
That's coming after one of the other guys who's panicking.
yeah. But Wooly doesn't care. Zombies,
No.
regular people, he's shooting them on the stairs.
Yeah. But we have to talk about what you said was this
Yes.
practical effect, a practical effect. They had a dummy, they had a head and they filled it. I think Tom Savini said they went to the food court or wherever they were getting food and they stuffed it with whatever they could. They did condoms filled with fake blood. Then they did shrimp and like pasta and stuck it all in that head. And then they put some stuff on it. And then it's very quick, but it's just an explosive gore.
Yeah.
Just really.
The door opens and bam, Wooly shoots the guy and the head just blows apart.
Explodes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, like you said, Wooly is on this tear and Roger is actually trying to stop him and it gets physical. Roger is grabbing Wooly and trying to pull him down. And this is an interesting part of the movie. The leader of this group is saying, that door. For some reason, he's like, don't open that door.
Yes.
And Wooly wants to head into the door. Roger's pulling him down. And then a big guy with the gas mask on, we're going to meet him later. He comes and he shoots Wooly. But we haven't seen him yet. Because he's got a gas mask on. And then he just sort of calmly walks away right after he does it. And Wooly falls into this room. So he falls into the room and we find out why you didn't want to open that door because there's zombies in there.
And a bunch of zombies. Now we see the zombies. When you look at it now, I guess when I look at it now, they're on the blue side. They were all sort of done gray, but it comes out kind of bluish. And their lips, you can never get, people always licking their lips. So the makeup, they have like red lips. But when I first watched it, they're so non-human, like everybody turns this really ash gray blue that it's very, very unsettling. And also because they have no mind of their own, they're just slowly ambling. It's really, really unsettling.
Mm-hmm. And I think you probably read Tom Savini himself afterwards always said that the tint he used, he was going for gray. And he said it was too blue. It was he thinks himself that it got a little blue on there. Yeah. So but they are scary. I'll just call out right now. The extras in this movie are great. Even though like the extras we see now in movies like The Walking Dead, they're just all falling apart. There's so much makeup on them, some CGI enhanced stuff. These are, like you said, people, but they're not acting like people. I kind of was really impressed throughout the movie with some of it because at first it could lean comical, but as you said, there's something a little off about it and the way they're doing it. And then what we see here is we have all these SWAT guys. These guys have armed to the teeth, but this shows you no matter how armed you are, if you get in a tight spot with the zombies and you trip over something and things can go sideways very, very quickly in here. And right?
Because of my innate and ridiculous fear of zombies, and I don't let my kids come after me as zombies, and they do it anyway, and it really pisses me off. So thanks, kids, for that. You're adults. You should leave me alone. But the fact is that the zombies, when they're coming after you, they're not fearful. So it doesn't matter what you're doing to them, they'll keep coming. So then you get more fearful and then you start to lose your cool. And that's when you get bit. And so first I think, well, there's no way zombies could take over the world because they're so effing slow. But now I see, okay, maybe because people are just making so many mistakes and they're letting they're keeping their loved ones close. And so when you get bit, eventually you become a zombie.
Yeah. So. And so we see these SWAT guys struggling. This one guy, young guy, he trips over some furniture. A zombie's crawling up. And I think I watched it twice, but I don't think we actually see the zombie bite the guy. But
No,
we're to make him.
he's not. He doesn't get bit. He's just. It shows that he loses his cool. And this monster has 1 foot. He does shoot himself off camera. Yeah, he can't take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but that zombie there has it was an amputee, so they only have 1 foot. The other foot's gone.
The actual actor was an
Yeah.
amputee. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he did it for the film. I don't think he was like, you know what? I'm not jogging anymore. You can have it.
And then we introduced to, I remembered this guy from my first viewing. He's in a button-up, this zombie. He's in a button-up shirt, and he's an African-American guy, but he's very ashen and pale. He leaves that room, and he starts walking up the stairs, and he goes to a door, and it opens, and I think it's his wife, comes out.
Yeah, I have to leave.
She
leave.
says,
you talk about this scene. I'm going to leave the room, and I'm going to come back.
okay. This is
the scene. This is the scene, Art. This moment that I couldn't tell you much detail of every scene in detail, if you know what I mean. But this scene is in my head, and it comes around every now and then, and I can see this scene happening. So if you want to tell it, you can, and I'll suffer through it.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Well, the door opens in another apartment, and Miguel's standing in front of it, and I think it's his wife must be in there. So this woman says, Miguel, and she goes out to embrace him, and he just bites into her and pulls his teeth back, and he just starts eating her. And here's the thing, Eric, it's really in this movie bright red blood that they're using in this movie, the mixture. And so that scene and the spurt and the pulling and it's really, really like it like you said, it really
it's a practical effect, and then he's not done because it's stuck in my brain. He takes a chunk out of her arm after that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's just terrifying.
And so you see this woman, she was embracing her husband, and this is really quick. It's a really quick scene. And Roger, then we see him, he's watching all of this going on. So you have the SWAT guys getting attacked, Miguel eating this woman, and Roger just backs up to the wall, and he's just sitting there observing it all for a second. And you get the idea, this is the madhouse. We're in hell. Like, I really got that feeling because we've seen him, like you said, he's cool professional. But right now, Roger is like, I don't know what to do with what's going on around me now. Right. So he goes downstairs to sort of take a breather or something. I wasn't exactly sure where they were, but there's a little moment where we see a little shadow behind a big curtain hanging, some laundries hanging in the corner of this basement. And this really reminded me of that weird stuff that George Romero can do. Like, do you remember the original Night of the Living Dead? They're coming to get you, Barbara. Like little phrases. And you hear from behind the curtain, you're not alone down here. Like, and it was just a weird moment. Steps out from behind. It's that big guy that we saw shoot Wooly earlier, and he takes his gas mask off, and we're introduced to him. This is Peter.
And when you say big guy, he's much taller than the guy he's acting with in the film.
Yes.
It's hilarious. He's like at least 1.5 feet. He's at least a foot taller than the other guy, which doesn't disrupt the film. It's just a fun fact to know. And I think eventually when they're becoming buddies, they call each other, they start making fun of each other. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the start of a beautiful friendship. This right here.
Bullets and zombies, always a good start to a friendship.
Yeah. And Peter asks him right away, were you with that unit that was with Wooly? And then they're talking about running. That's the conversation immediately goes to like, hey, what do you think about running? Like getting out of here. I think Raj is like, this is done. This is over. Yeah.
And they said, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Yeah. Because Raj has a friend with a helicopter. He said,
that's right. We get our 4 main characters going to be coming together. But before that, they end up going to the I think it's the basement. because apparently
like
the
sub
tenement,
basement, I guess.
yeah, sub basement.
The priest came out. The priest came out and
yeah.
told them, yeah.
Yeah, the priest tells them, and I love this guy because he, again, I don't know what it is with people missing limbs in this entire movie, but he has one full missing leg.
Yes. But he walks really well with
He really does.
Yeah.
I only noticed he was missing a leg when he walked away. I went, wait,
Yes.
what? And I think he said a line like, you know, right now you are stronger, but soon they will be stronger, or something like that. And he just walks away. Like, ooh,
Yeah.
creepy.
It's good.
Ooh.
It's a good sort of line. He's our harbinger for anybody who's seen
He's
Cabin
our
in the Woods.
harbinger. He's our one-legged harbinger.
Also, he says, you know, I've given them their last rites, and you got to do what you got to do with them, I guess. He says they're down in the basement. And now it cuts to this interesting little interstitial before we see the basement, though, Eric. This is great. And I wonder if this is sort of the origin of this stuff. There's a boarded up passageway, and the SWAT team is in sort of a narrow corridor, and they bang their rifle on it, and all of the arms, the hands, shoot out from between the spaces on the boards that are boarded up, right?
Absolutely the origin of the many hands thrusting through a small space. Absolutely, because I can't think of another monster movie where it was before this. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's great. It's really good. It works. It's completely good. And then they get into that sort of gated basement area, and the dead. This looks like where the people in this tenement were putting their dead down there, because some of them are tied up in sheets and trying to get loose, and they're flopping around. It's a pretty grim and gruesome scene, I would say.
Yes, and here's where I have to do this because it helps me with my fear of zombies. It's almost like a therapy for me. Is my problem here is all of the zombies are feeding off each other right now. There's no one alive there. And let's make up our minds, zombies. Do you feed on people until they're gone? Or do you feed on people until they are dead and then you don't go after them anymore because they're dead? So if that's the case, Art, then why are the zombies going after so many people? They should just be feasting. And if they're feasting, Art, this is my last bit of the rant, is so why are there so many zombies? Because if they're just picking you like you would a chicken bone, how are you coming back as a zombie? You're not. But most of these zombies have one or two bites on them. And so I have an issue.
Yeah.
I need to know what the deal is.
Not to go on too much of a tangent, but if we think about, it's sort of like vampires. They can like drink all your blood, or they can kind of give you a little bit and give you some blood back. And
don't get me started
turning people is different than killing people, I guess.
Don't get me started on vampires. Art. Yes, you drain
we'll
all the blood.
We'll wait for the right movie to go off on
drain
this.
all the blood, you're dead. Don't drain all the blood. You come back. Okay.
And so Peter starts shooting them. Peter starts shooting them, and it's pretty indelible images. There's one guy who's mid-chew on a leg. He's chewing in the leg, and Peter shoots him right through the head. Ah.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this movie, it's really gross, and I think partially because most of the things they're chewing on are actual bits of some animal, not human. I don't think. Maybe that's where the amputees came in. But it's very disturbing to watch them chewing on whatever it is that they gave them to eat.
Yeah, it's gross. Then we get a little back and forth here where I think Raj asks Peter, why'd they keep him down here? And Peter's like, I think they still respect the dead, respect dying. That's what they're doing. And then this hatch bursts open and an army guy is up there. And you're like, oh, there's army guys dressed in green. They must be different from these. I don't know if they're special forces, Raj and Peter, or something, or SWAT team. But I love this guy. He's looking down. Oh, man. Ooh. Like his whole demeanor, this army guy who's looking in on them. He's like, you guys got this all covered down here? Ooh. Oh, my God. Well, This is bad news. And here's the great thing. What I just love about the filmmaking, I don't know whether you noticed, probably nobody notices this. So that guy leaves. He's like an African-American guy. Says, all right, we'll move. And then a guy right behind him sort of pokes his head in for a second and to look around. I love that they gave that just an extra 2 seconds to look around and go, like the expression is like, ugh, oh my God. And then he moves on, but they could have just cut from one guy looking in, but they do this little extra there. And then they're shooting and boom, we're cutting to a helicopter landing on somewhere. And there's gas pumps. So Francine and Steven are at some sort of way station. They want to fill up the helicopter. And Steven goes into this abandoned post.
And it's one of those stations where it already looks like trouble, because what I don't like with a zombie movie where you know something's happening is there's nothing there. So you know that, oh, there's something there. It's some zombie's going to come out of, turn the corner and just start chomping on you. So my hackles are up for that whole scene.
Yeah, and also it has that creepy thing. I like this in movies because it really creeps me out all the way back to War of the Worlds, right? Radios with just people calling on them, and that's the sort of the overriding sound you hear through the station is somebody going like, BXB1, anybody there? Station 3, anybody? He's just calling out to all these people. Nobody's answering. Like you said, I'm thinking zombies are in here or something, but no, we're going to meet other people. There's other people at this station.
Right. You're talking about, yes. See, I've already jumped ahead because I still
you're
want
thinking airfield.
I still want this to be over already because of my fear. Not because of the movie. I think the movie's great, but they run into a couple of rogue cops. They seem, are they cops? They have like cop hats on, but not. They got a mismatch of things that they have on here. They're listed as cops, and if we see the theatrical version, this scene doesn't exist.
Yes, yeah, it's interesting, but I think it's good. I think it's good to have it here. These guys bring up something important. They actually the first ones to bring it up. They're like, "Hey, should we take this chopper away from Steven and Francine?" So you start to get a little nervous that these guys are going to, and then one guy says, what are you kidding me? If that guy dies, none of us will know how to fly the helicopter. So as much as it was cut, I think in other versions, this scene, it does seed that little thing of even these guys are clocking that
makes sense.
Problem.
And they all can almost drive a boat. So they're going, which island are you going to? Any island.
And the way Steven says it, because Steven says it, is like, are there islands around? Like what islands? Like what any island? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Not a bad idea. In the way future, we're gonna be getting that idea again in a Day of the Dead and a Dawn of the Dead.
I'm sure you know this, but the guy who's playing the police officer that they run into gets a starring role in Day of the Dead.
That's right. Has the same character, right? But although people think maybe it is. Oh, we should say Raj and Peter pull up, and they're in the SWAT team. And I love this. The two, so Raj and Peter are there. This group of rogue cops, and they're mutually are kind of like, what are we going to start shooting at each other? Nobody needs to die here, right? Yep. So they go off on their own direction. They go up in the chopper. And little interesting, cool shot. The chopper takes off, and then there's a building in the background, and you see the lights slowly blinking off in that building, going up the building behind them. It was kind of a cool shot there.
I was too busy looking over my shoulder.
And then in the chopper, we have a little bit of a conversation here. They're all like, did any of you leaving anybody behind? That's what they ask. And two people leaving behind ex-spouses.
Francine. My ex.
Yeah. Raj too, yeah.
Yep.
And
ex.
Peter says he's leaving behind a couple of brothers. And then Francine asks him, hey, you said you're leaving behind brothers. Real brothers or... And I was like, first of all, Francine, you seem like a good person, but...
What? Yeah.
I don't know if we've pointed out yet, Peter is African-American. So her saying real brothers and the way she sort of trails off. But what I like, Erik, is Peter clocks it. Peter's on the same wavelength that we are.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, a good little bit.
Pete-
It's a good little bit to keep in there because remember this is 78 and
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
so I
We're
don't know
not
what I was gonna
too
say.
far from things being really bad.
Well, George Romero is always ahead of the game too. So with Night of Living Dead, to cast a black actor as the lead was just, I think I'm kind of making stuff up, but why did you cast this guy? He's like, well, because he was great.
Yeah.
Because he was awesome.
Great. Peter's good in this movie, I think.
They're all good. They
Yeah.
don't really throw, except for that scene that we talked about, they don't really throw racial stuff around.
And then the goblin, I think this is Goblin on our version, kicks in the wow, wow, wow. They're going there. And then we cut to the next morning. They're still flying in the chopper. It's daylight.
Yep.
And Steven is sleeping like Chevy Chase in Vacation. And Raj or somebody pushes Steven awake. I'm like, Steven, you can't be sleeping driving a helicopter. He's full out like Erik. I was like,
There's no other air traffic right now. I think he feels okay. You know, it starts to dip, you wake up. Oh!
Right.
I think they noticed
Aerial footage here
Yeah.
that we're getting. Yeah.
This is where they noticed that that it's there. I think one of the guys says, "Oh, it's everywhere." Right?
Yep. We see zombies sort of roaming the fields in packs. And then one of them says, the rednecks are going to love this. And cut to this amusing interlude, I will say. Very satirical, hasn't aged one single
Nope.
bit.
Not at all.
It's not aged at all.
Nope.
Right?
Yep. The a lot of the army is there, but it's like what you would call a redneck shooting party or something. But they're just having a ball, taking out zombies with their guns that they have. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes on. It almost films like a documentary, Erik.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's real people. They said, "Hey, do you guys want to do this?" And they said, "Sure." And so
It's real army. It's a real army unit too.
Yep,
A National Guard unit was out there.
Yep.
And the National Guard unit are taking pictures with each other, and they're all having like a good time. And one of them, they're taking a picture, and they're like, "Duck!" And they drop down, and they shoot the zombies right behind them.
Yes.
And,
Yep. Yeah. And lots of effects here too, because they're picking off the zombies, and there's always squib shots and headshots and.
Yep. Yeah.
So
And then
the
zombies are near a car, so they just shoot the car and blow it up to get the zombies.
Yep. Car conveniently parked in the middle of the field. I was just wondering, why is the car parked in the middle of the field? But, maybe somebody got out. They were scared.
Yeah, exactly. And when they blow up the car, we get a nice shot from the helicopter going right over the car. And then that sequence ends with just two guys just picking off some zombies. We see them with zombies in silhouette sort of over the hillside, and they're boom, boom, and they're missing going, damn it.
Yep.
And then they pick them off like it's fun or something.
Yeah,
and then,
well, they're not, they're zombies.
Yeah.
Take
So
them
I'm
out.
like, these guys, we kind of can see how, shows like The Walking Dead, like this shooting party, this is going to become the Negan group, right? At some point in the apocalypse. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, because once you're able to shoot, so once you start being comfortable with shooting a bunch of people, I guess you don't care. Like, we'll shoot the ones where you can get stuff from. Bam, bam.
And then we're going to land at the abandoned airfield. Like, everything's like creaking in the wind. The gas pumps look like they from like 1930 or something. And then we see the funniest zombie yet appear right here.
Yeah,
this guy, he has a zombie approaches and he has a very weird head. It's a little
he looks like if Frankenstein's monster was a surfer from the 70s.
Or how about this? Frankenstein's monster mated with Corky from Waiting for Guffman.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. Wait, one more. Frankenstein's monster had a baby with Chuck Norris's brother.
But he just looks. Watching the movie, Erik, I was like, wait a minute. This guy looks really comical. His head, because his head is sort of flat on top, and it's really has a huge forehead. And I'm like, I didn't think zombies. 'Cause so far, we just seen zombies look like real people that are just zombified. But he looks a little weird. So we see him, he's lurking around, right? And we're going to find out why he looks like this.
Yeah.
But they all split up. Peter goes into a little snack station. Well,
okay. Jesus. They split up and they go into a place. There's no lights. Come on. First you kick the door or whatever, and then you start making calls like chicken noises. See if any zombies come out. No, they don't do that. No.
Peter goes into a little snack station.
Yep.
He hits the vending machine. Coffee. He gets some coffee. Like when he hits the vending machine.
He did it. And here's the joke. It says on the thing, it says out of coffee. And he hits it.
Yeah.
And
So he
comes out.
smacks it and it comes right down. And
It's probably real good.
And he's sitting down and he hears noise in the closet. Yes. And something's rattling around in there.
Yep.
And Steve and Peter shoots through the door, the door of the closet. And at the same time, Steve and Francine hear it. So they're like, oh gosh, what's going on? They come outside and a zombie attacks them right as they're coming out of the door. It's like, whoa. And so we have this parallel action scene going on. Peter is in the snack station.
Yeah.
And they're being attacked by zombies outside of this hangar, and Raj is filling up the tank of the thing with this quirky green guy slowly approaching him.
Yeah,
he doesn't know
they
it.
all have someone coming after them.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's stressful, and it's I think it's well done because it keeps one-upping. We have a situation where Steven, our helicopter pilot.
But I think he's got a sledge. This is where your panic takes hold because these zombies are slow. They're slow ass zombies, and still getting the upper hand. And he keeps trying to grab this mallet, like one of those heavy little mallets, to take this one zombie out.
Yeah, it's sort of like the choreography that they do in this movie when zombies are attacking, I think is pretty good because it's like you try to get up and you ever have that thing where you try to get up and run, but then you kind of fall a little bit, and it's always timed right. And I know it doesn't quite make sense, but in the context of what I'm watching, it usually does. Because like you said, you're kind of terrified. You're like, get away. Because like, Erik, right? With these zombies, any bite, you're done. So that's what always freaks me out about this stuff. You're just like, oh, you're too near its teeth. You're too near.
Yeah. And the girl, what is the character's name?
Francine.
So this is a good opportunity for her to scream and go crazy. But she told George Romero that she was not going to scream at all in the movie. And he went, okay. And then he ended up loving that because she wasn't just playing the screaming, helpless girl. She said she's not going to scream. And I think it worked. She was more like in terror, wondering what's going on.
I will say I have in my notes. I do have in my notes that she's not really helping him. She's standing.
She's not helping. No, she is standing there.
She's sort of standing there. I as much as I'm glad you put all that in because I was like, what's she doing here? What's the deal?
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
helpless. But
meanwhile, we see what's in the closet in the snack station that Peter's dealing with.
Yes, and so bursting out of that room, he shoots the door, like you said, but he shot above the door handle, thinking, it'll be some headshot.
Yeah.
But no, because bursting out of the door, and I have issues with this, are two zombie kids, but they are running towards him and hanging off of him like he's some clown at a kid's party.
Yeah.
And so he's battling with these zombie kids. And this is the only scene in a George Romero zombie movie where they are fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because he probably just wasn't thinking about that, or he just told the kids to go ballistic on this guy. But these were the only two where they were fast. They weren't like, they were just like, blah!
And I think the soundtrack does sort of like a when they come out of the closet, it kind of freaks you out because you're not used to it. But I do have in my notes right here, they are not slow like other zombies with a question mark. That's what I have.
They are not. And the actor was surprised because he didn't know they were kids. The actor did not know there were two kids. Yeah, 2 kids.
Oh my gosh! Oh
so,
wow!
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Peter takes them out. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Boom. And they're on the couch, and he kind of makes sure they're. Wait, I totally forgot. I totally forgot.
What?
Our big-headed guy.
Oh my God! Why? I'm sorry. We got so distracted by my terror.
So distracted by everything that's going on. So while
Larry Longbrow, Lowbrow,
the guy with the big head we mentioned earlier is approaching Raj.
Mm-hmm.
Raj isn't seeing him, and it's walking, and it walks up on hay bales, or there's
another thing. Yes, another thing where we're not quite in this movie. They are able to do certain things. So this zombie is actually walking up on the crates.
Yes,
near the helicopter. So that's a skill. This is a skill.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a skill. They don't just shamble and fall. They can actually push something or walk something or
and he this zombie gets up and Raj turns around and the zombie doesn't know any better.
Doesn't. You don't know.
And his head gets taken off by the helicopter blade, to the top of his head.
Yep. And even when you know how it's done and you're looking for it, it still is a fantastic practical effect.
Yes.
Because it looks like the top of his enormously high Franken head gets taken off and blood spurts out and he drops dead.
Yeah.
Well, dead again. Re-dead.
So he's done. So now we answered the question you heard us talking earlier about why does this zombie look like this? It's so they could chop that big head off.
They could chop the head off
with the helicopter blade.
Yep.
Meanwhile, out in the field, Steven is trying to shoot zombies and he's really shit at it.
Yeah, he's no good. He's not good.
Because every one he tries, Raj comes up right behind him and does a clean shot, standing, just looking. See, I was in the Army, Erik, and shooting, and that's like the hardest thing is shooting standing up like that, like shooting. And so we know Raj is a really good shot. So
plus he's calm. He's calm.
That's true. Raj is calm. So Steven's kind of useless.
Yep.
And then Peter in snack station turns around and he sees the famous zombie that's on that famous poster.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Right?
Oh yes. I'm glad you brought that up because the poster has this zombie and it looks like a road map on his face or something.
Yes.
And it's just an illustration.
Blotchy. It's just sort of his nose up coming over the horizon, right?
Yeah.
And this is it. This is the guy. Yeah, he's bald.
Yeah.
And he's standing in the doorway of the snack shack.
Yep.
Then useless Steven is out there in the field and takes a shot and nearly kills Peter because Peter's standing there. He's trying to help Peter. And so Raj has to jump in and kill it. Yeah, Raj.
Yeah. So, but we're establishing the characters here, which is really cool. You're figuring out who's who. And what I like is this is important because over the course of the movie that it doesn't stay that way.
No.
It don't stay that way.
No. Yeah.
Did it just get darker in here?
In your room?
Yeah.
You still look well lit. So.
Well, there's 2 extra doors here too, and I'm not feeling comfortable. I'm just going to open this window over here. Yeah, you can laugh all you want. Laugh, everybody. Why don't you laugh? Open this up here. There we go. Ah, that's better. Oh,
okay.
No zombies back there. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. So yeah. Moving on. The end of the film.
Peter's pretty pissed. Peter's pretty pissed at Steven for shooting at him. Mm-hmm. But then he's sort of like, it's all right, man. It's all right. Just don't aim a gun at somebody.
Yeah. Yep.
So they all escape in the chopper from this abandoned airfield. And now they get a little conversation about what the hell are we doing? Where are we going to go? And then we have the shopping mall. The shopping mall appears. They're flying over the shopping mall.
Yep.
And this might be their answer. I guess they decide this is the place
because
to
it's one of
go.
those. It's one of them shopping malls or something like that. They say because apparently shopping malls are brand new.
Right. And it was impressive enough that George Romero made this movie, right?
Yep.
He visited one of those huge shopping malls that you hear about across the country that were put up in that time period.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of his, I think, actually owned it, somebody he knew.
Mm-hmm.
And he liked, the friend took him on the tour, all the backs, hallways, and I think it just inspired him in the moment to.
He said, "Wow, you could survive an apocalypse in here," is what his friend said or something. And he went, "Well, wait a minute, what about a zombie?
Yeah.
And history is created."
And here we get a little bit of the goblin music too. Wow, wow, wow. All we're really looking at is signs and fences, but they're shooting them at angles. So it looks like we're in Logan's Run or something. And they land on the top of the building, and the mall has these big skylights that are on the top of the building. And then they're looking down in the parking lot, and there's all these zombies walking. What I love, Eric, did you clock this? One of them, it's an empty part, like he has all the room in the world, this zombie. There's a one sign standing up that's fire lane, no parking. And there's the guy knocks it over. He walks into it and knocks it over. I just like that moment. It's
like a cat. It's like
right.
A cat. If there's a box, you're gonna climb in it. If there's an object, you're gonna walk into it. It's just,
right. He walked, like a human being would never have walked into this, but he knocks it over. They make a mention. This is so funny. Cindy's Erik must be nuclear. They must be on the nuclear grid. Nuclear power was getting to be a lot more common that time.
Yep.
And they say a line here, Erik, that we're going to get again and again and again in this movie, some version of it. Why are they here? Some kind of memory. This was an important place for them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would be cool, right? That would be cool. They mentioned that. We're going to hear that refrain or something like it a lot in this movie, where I am going to get to be Erik. Like, I get it. I get it.
Well, there's one of those things where they want to make sure that you get it so that it pays off when they want it to. So,
That's true.
And there's a payoff for the reason why they kept going.
Yeah. So they go. They look down and they see the mall. They can look through these skylights and see sort of zombies walking through the mall. But then they find a location through one of these skylights where it looks like just a storage room, and it's got meals ready to eat. I recognize them immediately from my time in the Army, like meals ready to eat.
All the good stuff.
Yep, I saw them immediately. And they go down there, they drop down through the skylight, and they get some spam to eat down there. Spam.
Yeah.
It's like a room, and it has one stairwell. It's really important. Raj and Peter say there's only one way in. So it's easy to defend if there's just one way in.
It's a long corridor, and then the stairwell,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a secret place in the mall.
Yeah, so they're hunkered down for a little bit. They're eating. Steven, their pilot, gets to get some sleep, which is important. And you're thinking, oh well, they'll stop here. They get some food, right, and they'll continue on their travels. But they start to get the idea. Hey, let's go out and see what we got in this mall. There's lots of stuff in this mall. Yeah,
there's lots of stuff in this mall. This mall has every single store.
Mm-hmm.
So it has everything from a coffee shop to Guns R Us.
Correct. I think the gun store was the only thing that wasn't actually in that mall.
Yes.
To film it somplease else.
Yes.
Everything else they said was in there.
Yeah.
They shot
which kind of makes sense. You wouldn't probably have a gun store.
But the gun store, interestingly, Erik, I don't think was very far away. I think it was only like a couple of miles from that mall.
Taking advantage of the mall. Sure, yeah. Somebody's going to come and get these guns.
So Peter and Raj are SWAT guys. They're going to go out and scavenge or see what they can see. They go down there. They go in. This is an interesting. I'll just mention this on the side. I don't know if you noticed this while we were watching, but they go downstairs and they're looking through the hallways. They're just doing a lot of like, ooh, with their gun, they go around the corner. One of them covers each other. All realistic, right? They get to like a big motor room, mechanical room. There's a lot of noise. And they find an office there. And there's a big ring of keys. So they're like, oh, keys to the kingdom. We got them here. They leave the mechanical room, right? And they go out and they find a hallway that clearly leads to the mall. They go down the hallway. There's like a little bit of goblin music playing. They go out and they look over the balcony. They see the lay of the land. And then they have a little conversation, about, ooh, we're going to have a good time. Like, we're going to, let's go do this. And then Rod says, let's go back and look at the schemes. And then we're back in the electrical room looking at the map so they can match up the keys to where it goes. Now, here's an example of when you cut things. In the theatrical cut, they cut that little excursion out to the mall out. They get the keys. Rod says, hey, we found these keys. Cut to, they're looking at the map and matching up the things, and then they go out to
why do they have to go back? Exactly.
Right. So that's an example sometimes of extended cuts. You don't need that extra thing. And there's a few things like that in this movie we're going to see going forward. I'll mention them now and then, but like there are little extra things that are in the extended cut that actually don't add up to anything.
And I know, I just so you know, you're in California right now, so it's 3 hours behind me. So it's very nice and bright over there.
Yeah, I still have daylight.
The sun is going down, so I'm gonna just turn on the lights here.
Some parties up in the ceiling. You're gonna hide out in the ceiling.
No, I'm gonna turn on the overhead lights just for mood. I just want to look good, just for the camera. It's not anything. Not a fear. There we go. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Good.
I'm good. Go. What are you talking about? Keys or something?
So they got the keys. Now they got the keys, and they know where the stores are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They get to the department store, and they're opening up. What I love about the reality of this is they have to figure out how to open this door, right, Erik? So the zombies are starting to come in on them, and they're like, how the fuck does this door open?
It's like what do you call it? A hidden passageway in a bookcase where the middle goes like that. Yeah. So when you open it, it pivots from the middle.
And then it slides and you can push it to the side.
It's a weird
they don't know this. So they do the key and they're trying to figure it out while the zombies are closing in and they can't get it closed. And they get inside, they close the door, and we're seeing these zombies. We're starting to, as they're now out in the mall, we're getting some characters, right? These zombies are characters, right, Erik? We're noting them.
There's you can spot all kinds of zombies. There's a nun, there's a nurse, there's one of my favorites, which is a Hare Krishna. I think there's a postal carrier. Just anything you can think of, it's probably there.
Yeah. We're starting to notice all these guys, and I like that. There's one guy in a fountain. He's sitting in the fountain and he's just grabbing pennies, a zombie, and just looking at them in his hands.
Yeah. Again, what is going on with that? Why is he looking at pennies? Why is he interested in pennies?
What I like about the zombie acting is I don't think he knows why he's doing it. He's just grabbing them up and looking at them. Maybe they're shiny or something. I don't know, but he's sitting there. There's guys on the escalator. The
one lying down on the escalator. Yeah. And when the escalator starts, they're all like, whoa. But still not. They're constantly have their eyes open anyway, really wide. So it's not like they become surprised. They're just already surprised.
Yeah.
So that really works. I think this is a good part to say where George Romero didn't tell them how to act like zombies, because he said if I tell one person how to act like a zombie, they're all going to act exactly the same. So he didn't tell them how to do it. He just said, just be a zombie. And so they all weren't like, whoa, with their hands or. So I thought that was a good call for George. Good job, George.
Yeah, and we should say that Peter and Raj have turned on everything at the mall. So everything. The fountains are working.
Yep.
Music is on.
Yep.
Everything's going in the mall. It's a good idea because it'll kind of distract the zombies to whatever's going on. So they're kind of doing it. So they're in the department store now, and they're just like, woohoo! They're in this department store, and their idea is to get some supplies that they might need. A radio, a TV, things like that they might need. And they get a wheelbarrow.
It was a good call because they could put a bunch of stuff in their wheelbarrow, yeah. At
this time, Steven has woken up back at the lair that they have up there, and she's told them that they've gone out. He's getting antsy, and he's ventured down himself down the stairwell. So Steven's going down the stairwell, and he goes into that mechanical room.
Very Freddy Krueger. It's a very Freddy Krueger room.
It's good because he finds the control room where we saw Raj and Peter earlier, and he sees a book or some sort of plans, and he's looking at them, and over his shoulder in the background, in the depths of the boiler room, you just see a shape move across the window in the back, and you're like, ooh, there's one in here. So while we're watching Raj and Peter dealing with the department store, we're also cutting back and forth with Steven in the control room, and he comes out and he runs into the zombie, and it's great because there's all these shadows, and he's moving behind. There's pipes, right? It's kind of a well done sequence.
It is. It's almost a supernatural experience because he can never see what the zombie is, and he's shooting the gun, and it's ricocheting everywhere. And I thought that's stupid. That was my first thought. You're gonna. One of the pipes is going to burst, was what I was thinking.
Not only that, it's like he does it the first time, and it ricochets a lot.
Yeah. As
a matter of fact, I was like, is that really what? Like, I guess it would. It can, but on the soundtrack, it's like beep 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 beep. Never do that.
Well, he's scared. He's nervous. He's scared in there.
He can't shoot for crap.
Yeah.
So he and then he's little cat and mouse with the zombie. I love it. It would probably go well in black and white. The zombie's out, and Peter's got a bead on him. He could shoot him right in the head at this moment. But guns out of bullets.
Yeah.
I love it. It's that lovely thing with zombies. It's like suddenly you're like, oh, shit. And Steven, he's backpedaling, and the zombie's coming after him. Is it a maintenance guy? Does he have sort of a maintenance thing with like a little thing on? Like I was trying to see if he was I think he was like a maintenance guy. He had a beard.
I don't know.
Handsome dude, actually. This zombie
guy. Too bad.
He was a handsome guy.
Had a good career in maintenance. But, that zombie shooting thing, the reloading thing. There's a game that I would play on VR, and it scared the crap out of me. I forget what it was called, but it was a zombie game, and you had to reload, and that was when I'm out of bullets and. Oh. That was scary. Or in the dark. There's one scene that I kept wanting to skip in this VR game where you go into these mining tunnels and it's pitch black. And I was like, nope. I kept trying to find ways to skip that part of the game, but I couldn't do it.
So Peter's trying to reload. Bullets are going on the floor. He gets it. But also Raj and Peter are hearing the shots happening. Yep. So yeah, they know, they don't know what's going on, but they know something's going down over there. All right. So Steven gets out of his situation in the room, and then he runs into a bunch of zombies, and one of them's the Hare Krishna zombie, Erik. They're in the hallway, and he's about to shoot them, and that's when Peter sees him, and Peter says, don't shoot. They'll know where our hiding place is. And then Peter freaking grabs a zombie and tosses it over the balcony. Like... we get the feeling of how strong he lifts him above his head.
Pretty strong. So,
pretty strong guy. Peter must be really strong.
Yeah. And this is a prop. It's not an actual person. The Tom Savini apparently said that they used the same prop zombie over and over again until it was completely and utterly destroyed.
Yeah.
So, wow, they're saving money.
So Steven's safe with Peter and Raj. Now the Hare Krishna notices the door, and he's heading up towards Francine.
Yes. Walking up a couple flights of stairs, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Just letting you know. He's got...
And I should say, this is a great moment because over the sound system, we get the voice that we all know from when we were younger, Erik. Attention shoppers. And it's going on a whole spiel, and that is the soundtrack of this Hare Krishna attack on Francine, is this voice.
Yes. And this Hare Krishna seems to be a little... Another thing with the zombies is how much strength do they have? Because Francine blocks the door and is picking these heavy things up and putting them in front of the door. Okay? So this Hare Krishna is not... I mean, he's got to be like 112 pounds. Not more than that. Sure, and he can push that door open. What's going on?
And as the door is opening, you can see the shadow of the light coming through on the wall, and you see his Hare Krishna head, like as she's coming in.
Yep.
Which I found all this terrifying the first time I saw it when I was 13 years old. Like absolutely terrifying.
Yes, exactly, terrifying. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And there's the plucking of string plucking on the soundtrack too. And so she's trying to get up a ladder up to the top of the roof, and he's grabbing at her legs once again, where those legs could be bit at any moment.
It's gonna bite her.
Right.
It's gonna bite her.
And the guys come in and save her. The guys come in and
finally,
yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
so far she's pretty helpless technically throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, and Steven is like, you should see all the stuff we got. He says, we got it made here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that little line that he says. And you can tell Francine is like, we got it made here. I was nearly just killed by it's like a really confusing moment for her because he's like, this is great.
Yeah, zombie just made its way into our secret place, but we got it made here. We got it made.
This is where I didn't remember this as much from the movie. This is, I think, the first time we're going to get a breather in this movie, because we've been kind of going from scene to scene to scene, zombies fighting zombies going on, right? Mm-hmm. And now we notice they have a little bit more in this place. They have TVs, they have some food, they have a radio.
Yep. And that's what they kind of do. They make this into a home because this is a secret place. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure, did they make the decision now to do it? But they even made a decision to make a fake wall.
Yes, they definitely do. They make that decision to do make a wall so that the zombies will never know that wall is there.
Right. They'll know there's a staircase.
But they'll know.
Oh, they'll know.
They'll know.
Those sense memory zombies, they're so fun.
Exactly. Yeah. And so this is where we learn Francine's pregnant.
What?
Yeah, learn Francine's pregnant. And interestingly, Peter just asked point blank, "Guys, going to keep it? If you don't, I know how to perform abortion."
I'm like, what?
No, I was like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming.
Part of the Army field training there, Art, where they're like, we're going to teach you how to load a pistol, take it apart, and also how to do an abortion, just in case.
Yeah. Wow. And also we start to see that Francine is concerned about how acclimated they're all getting to staying here. And then there's another line. We got everything we need right here. And then we're getting that they're watching TV, Erik, and this is where we get this guy, Dr. Rausch, who's got an eye patch.
Got an eye patch. He looks like an accountant pirate is what he looks like. If an accountant and a pirate got together, this would be their child.
He's on the TV, and this is interesting, Erik. It goes to what you're talking about earlier. Are these cannibals, he says? No, because they are not human. Also, they don't prey on each other. So you can't really call them cannibals because they don't eat each other. But as you pointed out, Erik, technicality, they were kind of eating each other earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
They prey on humans. Yeah.
There's so much to talk about. I know. I just have to point out, when you're eating, you're a zombie and you're eating, okay? Your digestive system's not happening. So you're not pooping anything out. And you're not digesting anything. But what no one ever touches on is the zombie eats and eats and eats. What happens? It just makes its way up until it's like a finger sticking out of your mouth. Or does your stomach explode? And why aren't all the zombie stomachs exploded then?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Doctor, do you think Dr. Rausch can help you out?
I hope so. I contacted him, but he never returned my text.
Dr. Rausch is being interviewed and saying all these things over, of course, montages of the zombies. And this is a little bit where the satire comedy is now really hitting this middle part of the movie here, where we're seeing, as we're hearing about the zombies, we're seeing them in a lot of different situations. There's this heavy guy, like a real heavy guy with his belly's hitting the window. More escalator craziness. Like there's a guy who's sort of walking and spinning. We see him throughout the movie, that guy. And playing hockey. They're like playing hockey.
They're being aggressive with that hockey too, Art. They're all going for that goal.
Because they're all in the goal. They're in the goal. There's like 3 of them in the goal, pushing their faces up against the net. And so we're hearing Dr. Rausch as all this is going on, saying like, do not think of these as your friends and family members.
Yeah, and that's what we discover is the major problem is when you can't let go, which a lot of zombie movies end up doing that thing where you don't let go of the person.
Yeah.
So that's your downfall is being emotional about it. Because I'm eating crackers. Look at me. I'm eating crackers and I'm nervous.
Francine, I don't think she likes this development.
No.
These 3 guys, they're going out and doing everything and she's at home. So she starts to stand up for herself a little bit. I want to be in on the plans and I want a gun.
And I want to learn how to fly the helicopter.
Yes.
Smart move. If
something happens to Steven, they can't get out of there. So as they cut out of that scene, Eric, this is what I like on the TV. Because first of all, where was that talk show taking place? It looked like it was backstage at a community theater. I was trying to figure out where that was even going on. The last thing the other host says, you just hear the voiceover, the guy goes, and despite all this, some people still have a sense of humor. That's the last thing he says. So the guys go on the semi mission. They're going to block all the doors with the trucks.
Yeah, there's a bunch of trucks in the back of this mall. And the mall has as you mentioned, it has a freaking hockey rink. So this mall is awesome.
But there are a lot of trucks, Eric.
A lot of trucks.
There are a lot of trucks parked. And the idea is, I guess, pull them in front of the doors to the mall.
Yeah, they want to drive them up to the doors so that because the zombies keep going to the mall. And so they want to, just in case, they want to put trucks up against all the entrances.
Mm-hmm. And Raj, he can hotwire cars, so they have no problem starting up these semi trucks. Mm-hmm. Peter's flying the helicopter over everything. I don't know why he needs to do that. Is it to maybe lead the zombies away? I couldn't understand why. Well, maybe he brought them to the semi trucks. Well, I was trying to figure out why he's up there. But
again, for me, it's so much to talk about. But the movie, not the movie, the book that Mel Brooks's son wrote called World War Z.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That is, if they had really made that book into a movie instead of the stupid thing that they made, that's where we're talking about. He goes into what's happening before the zombie outbreak, what's happening during, and then he does what's happening afterwards. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that he mentions in the book is they just make loud noises and the zombies go to those loud noises. So you freaking have them, you go to the Grand Canyon with a bunch of megaphones and whatever, a marching band, and all the zombies start coming up to the Grand Canyon. They just drop down there. They all drop down. And then you light them on fire. But why did they do that with the helicopter?
Hovering over them. Yeah. Like
the helicopter would have been a good way to get them away from the mall.
Yeah.
So why didn't they do that?
Raj is starting to have a good time with this. He's mowing down these zombies going across the parking lot. Raj is getting a little cocky now too.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit. He's not calm anymore. Now he's sort of more like yeehaw all the time.
Yeah, he's getting a little crazy. And they get down there. They park the truck, and Raj has to get out to get into Peter's truck. And when he gets out, it's an interesting moment. There's a lot of zombies around him, obviously, and one of them one of them is right up to it and caresses his face, sort of, and he gets away from it and he gets into the truck. Now, Peter is totally clocking what's going on with Raj. Peter is looking at him like, yeah, they have to go back and get another truck now. Yep. And Raj is hot wiring it, but at this point, it's an awkward position we talked about earlier. He's under the dashboard, and several zombies start approaching from different directions. We see
Raj actually. This is another moment in the movie where my young self was terrified. Was one of them bites his arm, tears a chunk off, and then he tries to get away, gets in the vehicle, and then another one bites a piece out of his leg,
out of his calf.
Yeah,
exactly.
So he got bit.
Yeah, Raj has been bit. And he's tearing he's putting a tourniquet on himself with his teeth.
Yeah,
he's pulling up, and, and he seems during this whole scene too, Raj seems he's getting a little off, like we said, and he reminded me of did you remember this moment, Eric, where he says he goes, "Perfect, baby, perfect." Right? And he sounded like Ash from Evil Dead.
Yeah, he's bit, poor guy. But they decide that now the mall's all closed up, so they're gonna start living the life.
Yeah, this is definitely they.
But they got to do cleanup on aisle 7. They got to do zombie cleanup.
Once they get all the entrances sealed, they're like, "We're gonna go on a hunt."
Yep.
They don't show it. They cut right to all the dead zombies.
Yep.
Lying on the ground.
Yep. And it's kind of a scary scene because you see for the first time like all of the death. Like, so there's so many. I don't know how many zombies were in there, maybe 100 or so, but there's a moment where it's just not funny at all. It's just all these dead bodies. And then they put them in the freezer, which I thought was a poor choice because that's where all the ice cream and the meat is.
So, like you said, now we're going to get into living life in the mall.
Mm-hmm. With somebody who's bitten.
Yeah. Raj is having spasms.
Yeah.
They're giving him morphine, I think. Peter says he hasn't seen anybody last more than 3 days.
Yeah.
When he's seen somebody get bit.
Yeah. So I guess the thing is, when you get bit, you die from the bite. Somehow there's something that makes you die. And then, of course, after that, I imagine you come back to life.
And they're living life in the mall. So we have a nice montage of Francine's getting all dolled up. She's putting on a lot of makeup.
Yeah, weirdly. She's a little. Right?
Raj is eating kumquats and drinking the kumquat juice right out of the
why not?
jar.
Why not?
And he kind of has to get around. They got him in the wheelbarrow everywhere they take Raj. They wheel him around the wheelbarrow. They're getting haircuts. Then the arcade. They're playing arcade games.
Oh, I know some of those arcade games, by the way.
I'm going to ask you, what is the one with the the two guys? It's very green. What's that called?
It's very Atari. It's like an Old West thing. It's just the green, what do you call it? Pixelated guys. And then you can only go up or down. And you can only fire. And when you fire, you have to wait for your bullet to leave the screen. So they're going, and then there's cactus, which you can hide behind. And then there's a wagon that goes by. And really, there's so little control with that game. But I remember that game. Mm-hmm. And I also remember the car game, which when you're racing a car, and it's not really animated, it's part of the screen. So when you crash, the screen lights up from behind and you see lit up the crash, but it's just it just lights it up. It's not animated. So I thought that was awesome. That was the technology of the day.
And we're noticing, I don't know if I'm reading into this, but Peter is the one playing that game, the racing game.
Yeah.
Not Peter, Raj. He's playing the game. And the way he's sort of reacting to the lights and reacting to the game, I was like, oh, something's going on with Raj. We know he's bit and he's probably turning into a zombie, but there was something about his reaction enjoying the game that was very interesting to me.
Yeah, he does. And he's kind of down for the count now, and he tells his friend, he goes, don't let me come back if I come back, you know what to do. And
what I like is Romero will sometimes cut back all of a sudden while these guys are having fun in the mall. He'll just cut back to zombies on the outside, like hitting the glass, to remind you these people that are outside. And we get the tagline here because Peter's like, they used to say, the voodoo,
my grandfather or something, or
yeah, my grandfather.
When there's no room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
We hear Dr. Rausch some more, and he's speaking to you, Eric, because he talks about they seem to only use 5% of the human body. That's one of the lines that Dr. Rausch says. He's talking about how much the zombies consume of the human body.
How does he know?
How the hell
does he know?
Yeah, and he says a great line, Eric. He says, they won't run out of food while we're all still alive. That's
what
he said.
It's not really, that's the thing. It's not food. It's just a weird thing. They're not really, I don't get, however George Romero came up with this, I don't know. But because I think originally they were supposed to be ghouls, but now they're zombies.
And then, because Dr. Rausch is on in the background while Raj is, and Peter's in the room with him. And it's a famous, iconic, they put it on some of the posters, right? Yep. Is the process of him rising, Raj. It's great. The sheet pulls down.
Yeah, and the makeup here, you can tell they really did a great job. This one looks scary. And he just sits up and he's got his face, all grimacy. And of course he has to kill his friend. So
yeah,
that's what you got to do. But it's really a sad thing because it's a character you care about these characters, and he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, and then
double dead.
We cut right from this, Eric, to I was so confused for a second. Francine and Steven are there's like a candlelit dinner at a restaurant, and I thought, are we in a flashback scene? Like here, and Steven is proposing to Francine, and she says, we can't do that. This wouldn't be real here. Yeah. And then we get into more montages of the consumerism, buying baby. Like at this point of the movie, Eric, I have to ask you, did you feel like we're kind of marching in place a little bit here at this point to the movie?
I thought what they're trying to do here, which whether it's necessary or not, is they're trying to show you that they've actually created their own zombie-like prison, because they're basically 3 people alone, and now they have nothing. Everything they've done is now they're just like zombies. They're zombies, but they're alive. Basically,
they have turned their place into a pad.
It's nice. It's nice.
They have coffee tables, sofas. They're in bed. They have a beautiful bed set. They're like that room. We've seen it transform slowly to speak to what you're saying, Eric. They're cocooning themselves in this unreality, I guess, as Francine is saying. Like she knows it's not real.
The impending problem is her pregnancy. So it's got to be at least 5 months now, because she's got a belly. So what happens when the baby arrives? So how are they? Yeah. So interesting passage of time. I think they did a calendar too, but the passage of time with the baby, you can see she's got a big bump now.
And but Peter's going to teach Francine to fly.
Yep, she learns how to fly the aerial copter or whatever it's called. But that's the problem. The problem is them going up and down all the time. They've been spied on by the gang.
We cut to binoculars.
Yeah.
And then when we see who it is watching them, it's Tom Savini and this other guy.
Yeah.
And they are arch villains, Eric. They are out of central casting or something.
Yep.
And I love Tom Savini has a switchblade comb that he uses on his mustache.
We have to point out that Tom Savini, most of his times you've seen him in the movies, he's not really, I would say, an actor in a sense of he's not good at the acting thing. But it is funny because a lot of scenes in this movie were not acting, kind of real people. But yeah, they decided that the mall is probably a good place to go, and I think they're trying to contact them on a radio.
Yeah, they're saying like, we saw the whirlybird on the roof.
Yeah.
And what's comical about the scene is, so he's trying to contact our people in the mall on the radio frequency, but behind him is just 50, 60 people that are in this group, and they won't shut up.
It's like it's
Shut up.
just three of us or something like that. And he's like, yeah, just three of us.
Right. And one of the, he goes, hey, we saw your whirlybird on the roof. And one of the guy in the background goes, hey, anybody want to see my whirlybird? Like, they're clearly not, what we get here is they are not the professionals that Raj and Peter are. Like, these are not, these are marauders.
Yeah.
So they start moving in on the mall. We get a mix of the road warrior crossed with like those inexperienced fishermen going out to hunt jaws. It was like going across the parking lot. Right?
Yeah.
They're going across the parking lot. They don't seem to care about the zombies. They're not really giving a shit.
No, they don't. It doesn't.
Yeah,
they don't seem to be scared of them at all.
At all. You know, and they're going around. Peter's worried because Peter's looking at them going, that's an army that's coming this way.
Yeah, but he says they don't really know we're here. They're just assuming this. So we should just lock the gates, the big gates that come down, and then be quiet.
Yeah.
But the other guy, for some reason, doesn't want to do that.
Steven, is getting kind of weird here. I mean, Steven. And so Peter is smart. Like you said, he clocks it. The bikers are now busting in. They're busting in and they're coming into the mall. And Peter's like, all right, they're going to be letting about 1,000 zombies in here. So, we don't need to do anything.
Yeah, but that's what he does, but the other guy doesn't. What I love about the Marauders that I keep showing is they're just looting. They're just having a big old time, and they're destroying stuff and knocking zombies down. And what I love is one of them's using the freaking heart, like test your heart monitor where you put your arm in the sleeve.
He really wants to get that done, Eric. He really wants to, because somebody pulls him out of it at first to go do something else, and he comes back to it later. Like, they're on the way out, I think he says, I'm going to heart monitor. Like,
really has to check it. You know, you never know.
Really. And I should say that guy through this whole thing is wearing a big sombrero. That guy. That's how we can notice him.
We can know.
And Tom Savini is kind of crazy, you know. He's running around. It's one scene. He drop kicks a zombie. Like a zombie comes up behind him, and he turns around. He drops kicks the zombie, and then he puts a machete through the zombie's head.
Yes, a Tom Savini special, which is the machete with the thing taken out of it. So that was one of his things. I don't think he invented it, but that was one of his go-to things, was the machete in the head or in the arm, and it looks like it's through it.
Yeah.
That's cool. But they're going crazy on the zombies. They got a freaking extra large mallet this time, whacking zombies and all kinds of punching zombies. Oh, and then the pie fight. They have a freaking pie fight with zombies.
That's what I was going to say. Oh, they're having a good time doing this to the zombies. They're enjoying torturing the zombies, because there's sort of an African woman. I think that's how she's credited, actually, African zombie. And she has all this jewelry on, and they start taking all the jewelry off of her. Yeah. And you're like, oh, this is not, you kind of start to feel a little for the zombies a little bit. It's a very strange thing. And then the pie fights, they start smashing them in the face with clearly just whipped cream in a pie dish, a tinfoil pie dish. And then they're spraying them with water bottles like it's a comedy. And what do you think Romero wants us to be feeling here, Eric, when this is going on?
I don't know. All I know is one of the trivia bits is that somebody said, well, how do we kill the zombies? And somebody said, cream pies, as a joke. And so they thought that would be funny to include it in the movie, as they're just hitting zombies.
Okay, because I was a little, I get a lot, of course he's doing all this stuff with consumerism and how we operate in the world, but this is getting a little weird here and a little out of character of the movie. In other words, I felt like this was a little bit losing the tone. Does that make sense with the pies? But although I guess it's getting across that these guys are just mean and weird.
Well, it's also the absurdity. It's just absurd. I think that's showing you that humanity is now just gone nuts. They're just being really absurd, collecting jewelry and money as if they're ever going to use that again. I thought
Yeah.
that was good. But
And
what's his
and this is
name?
where Peter starts shooting at
Yeah.
the
Yep.
bikers.
And they start having a shootout. I think why can't I get their names? The other guy's like, now we got an all-out war or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I think the only thing that ends the trouble is when Tom Savini gets shot. Like he's sort of the gang leader. So they all leave, right? They all take off.
Yeah, they start to leave. You know, the Soprano guy is running out with a mannequin. He has a mannequin when he's running out of the department store, but he's got to check his blood pressure.
Check it, man.
He's gonna check his blood pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he checks his blood pressure, the zombies come after him. And that's another part in the movie that for some reason struck me as horrific when I was younger, is that scene where they basically chaw his arm off. And I thought, well, you idiot, why did you wait? But you know what, Art, maybe this is the thing. Maybe it's George Romero was like, we're going to really make this funny and comical because this next scene is going to be visceral and horrible because a lot of the gang members are getting torn apart. And this is where I squinted because they're pulling out real guts out of
entrails that are just
nasty.
Like, yeah, I could only imagine that they were real animal entrails that they were pulling out of people.
Yep.
And they're plump and juicy and these extras are doing a great job of chowing on it and it's disgusting. So the bikers, it harkens back, right? Our priest earlier in the movie, I think someday they'll be stronger than you. Right? The zombies in their numbers are going to eventually take over, and here we're seeing it. You would have thought these bikers had the run of the place, and now they're getting eaten all over the place. Like it's really turning on them here. Now Steven is going to get caught in the elevator. He's trying to escape up the elevator shaft.
Yeah.
And
he goes to get up the elevator shaft, and the bikers shoot at him, and they actually hit him in the arm. But he's in the top of the elevator shaft where he should have freaking stayed, in my opinion.
I know.
But that's another scene where it just makes me, because he's in the elevator and the power goes out. So he jumps down into the elevator, and now he's got a hurt arm. So the other guy tells him to go back up the shaft, and he can't. And then the power comes back on, and waiting for him when those doors open, pile of zombies just come in and start biting him. Just really awful scene where they're taking chunks out of him.
Yeah, he really gets it, Peter, here. It's a really disgusting.
But he's not.
And meanwhile,
dead.
I mean, Sven, but Peter is up in the hallway and he's having a whole dramatic moment. Flyboy.
Yeah.
Oh, Flyboy. Like I was like, oh, okay, you're really going for it here, Peter.
Yeah. The girlfriend now knows that he's probably, her fiance is probably dead. But he he shoots all the zombies in the elevator and pushes them out the elevator door. And the elevator door closes.
Yep. Like I will say, in the midst of him getting eaten, Steven puts up a good fight. Like he does put up a really good fight against all these zombies. Elevators doors close, and
he's in there by himself now because he covered all the zombies.
We're gonna watch more zombies chowing down on people, and then the elevator door opens, and it's great makeup. It's a great creation. Steven looks great as a zombie. Like his foot is kind of sideways, and the makeup on his face, and his eyes, one eye is kind of looking up above the lid or something, and it's great. I didn't know if he did something weird with his eyes. I know that.
He really committed to it, and I think George Romero said that was his favorite zombie because he just really, like, he almost trips when he's walking.
Yeah, Steven is, but this is where all throughout the movie they've been saying the zombies go where they're used to. They go to their routines.
Yep.
And that's when we realize too, Steven in his instincts knows where their hideout is.
Yep. He heads right over there. And the wall that he starts pounding on, we're led to believe that that was an actual wall, right? That they built with like wall board. Okay.
They showed us earlier, Eric, at a hardware place, getting some pretty serious tools,
Yeah.
I have to say,
Yeah.
right? Why do you ask, Eric? Why are you asking me that?
Well, because a gentle push, the whole thing just comes down. It looks to me like it's cardboard. I swear it's got to be cardboard. But that was another terrifying scene for me because I was like, oh no, they found the and all of them can go up the they're all following him like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, they're all going.
Zombies are like, oh, what's this guy doing?
There's a zombie I want to point out, though, which we haven't pointed out yet.
Yeah.
Do you know this one I'm going to talk about?
Yeah.
He earlier in the film, this zombie grabbed an M16 from Raj. This is earlier in the film, and Raj just let him have it.
Yeah.
And the zombie grabbed it, and so I'm kind of holding it up so that the barrel is pointed right at his own head, the zombie.
Yes.
And now we're seeing that zombie return, and he's still got the gun in that same position.
Yep.
So he's walking up the stairs with the M16 still at his head. That was great. I'm like, oh, there's that guy. Yeah. It was just a detail that I really enjoyed.
They really committed to a lot of those zombies. Like, you're this zombie, you're that zombie.
Yeah. And so Francine's like, okay, we got to get out of here. We'll go up and get in the chopper and leave. It's just me and you. And Peter says no.
I know he says no because the whole thing's over now because their little hideaway is now completely compromised. Mall filled with zombies. It's done. They have to leave. And it's one of those little iron rung ladders that you have to climb up. And then they're on the roof with boxes or something. But yeah, he says no. He's being all dramatic, like, go. I gotta stay.
And he goes on into a side room to just sort of wait.
Yeah,
he's gonna wait. Yeah.
With one of all the weapons they pick, he's got a Derringer.
Yeah, and but the zombies enter the sanctuary. They come in, and we see some of our favorites. The nurse is here. The escalator guy is here. The guy with the M16 is here. We're seeing some of our favorites. I think the nun is there. I think the nun's there.
All the celebrity zombies are there.
All the celebrities are here for this one.
Yeah.
And Eric, what you've been saying throughout the movie. These things are good at climbing ladders.
Oh, my God.
They are really good at climbing ladders all of a sudden.
There's a ladder. First, there's a ladder, a regular ladder. And then you have to get to the iron ladder. And all these zombies are clambering to get up there. And the ladder stays up. What?
I know.
And they're making it to the roof. She's going to the copter and they're making it.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, they really have good upper arm strength, if nothing else.
Right. And meanwhile, we cut back to Peter. He's got the gun to his head.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought he's gonna do it as soon as the zombies come in. He's gonna do it. Well, he doesn't. He suddenly decides he wants to live.
Yep. Fun fact is that was the original ending. Is he shoots himself in the head, and Francine does the same thing that the Franken zombie did. She puts her head into the whirring blades and dies. But thankfully, they chose a different route because that would have been a horrific downer.
But it is a little weird. Peter it is weird. You can tell where the impetus was. Like I said, I was watching it and I thought that was it for Peter. And then all of a sudden he just becomes, and they put in like a heroic A-Team music. Did you notice this, Eric? It was like A-Team.
Oh, man. Dun, dun, dun,
dun, dun, dun. The music was really funny to me. He's just beating zombies left and right. He gets up to the roof. He's a football star now or something.
He gets up to the roof and he dispatches some of the other zombies.
Oh, my notes I have, it was the Police Academy music. It sounded like we were watching Police Academy.
Yep.
And then it looks like the gun zombie is it looks for a second like he's going to figure out how to use a gun.
Yeah, because he gets a new gun. He takes Peter's wrestling with him with the other gun. And so the zombie has two rifles, and he picks the more expensive one.
I know. Oh, because earlier in the movie,
Yep.
right? Peter made a joke about how expensive guns,
Yep.
right? Guns are.
Yeah, now that's
Good one. I didn't notice that.
Real good sniper rifle. It comes in handy.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. Good call, Eric.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
good. That's good. And they get in the chopper. They
go to the chopper.
They get to the chopper. And but
The chopper.
Since these always have sort of a nihilistic feel to them, it has to end on the note of we don't have much fuel.
Yeah. How much fuel do we have? Not much. And I think he says something like, oh, okay. Something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah, it's like, all right. And then we're out. That's the
helicopter goes off into the distance.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the movie. So yeah, it was going to be a different ending, a much more downbeat ending. And I think you made it through, Eric. I don't think there's a lot. So you need to be on this time zone. I still got sun out.
Lot could be happening behind
I'm
these
okay
doors.
until tonight. Right.
It may sound like my wife's making dinner, but it could be something else completely. I have no idea.
And then Romero was going to keep making these. The Dead franchise is one that kept going. And now we have lots of zombie movies and all sorts of franchises everywhere. But this was a pretty big hit for its budget of only $640,000 at the time, I read. And it went on to make...
I thought they said it took in something, maybe I'm wrong, but 16 million or
16. Yeah.
First
big hit. That's a huge hit.
Yeah. And
but you weren't seeing anything like this. I remember it very well. I was surprised how much I remembered of it. Coming back to it, images that stuck out, sort of indelible images.
Not surprised at all how this just affected me. Still zombies. I can handle pretty much slow moving freaking zombies. You guys suck. You are. But yes, it is a great movie. If you love zombie movies, this was the first official, like, holy crap, zombie movie with disgusting effects. Yeah. I mean, some of them funny now. It's a little cartoony, but still just horrific. Scary.
Yeah. And what I like about it is I don't know how this is going to sound, but I do like that it does have something to say. It's trying to say something. It has a theme behind it, which isn't always important. But this is a gross, really sick movie. And it makes you feel nihilistic, and it makes you feel like the world is over or something, and what are we but flesh, and we're going to be eaten by things that eat flesh. And Romero is good at that stuff, but this has a very satirical point of view. Like I said, it hits you over the head with it a lot, but you were right earlier to call out, it needs you to understand that when we're then watching scenes of them in their little hidey hole, and they now have IKEA furniture in there, and they're watching bigger screen televisions, and they have nice lighting fixtures and lamps.
They have plants.
They have plants that they're watering. They have made this their home. And it's, we think it's funny, the zombies are coming back to the mall, but these people are doing it. We start the movie in this insanity, and then they get to have this little weird little cutout of normalcy in there. But Francine is an interesting character because she never really buys into that imaginary place. And so in the end, I think I'm with you. I think I'm glad they went with them escaping, because I kind of like these characters, especially Peter and Francine. I like them. I liked Raj too. Steven's a little annoying sometimes. I think the first movie, Night of the Living Dead, ended on a real bummer. That survived.
Because, it's just, we're not watching Seven here. Spoiler. It is a great horror movie. It is a little dated in a sense with the score for this one, and the blood effects are kind of, I guess they're Argento like Suspiria, where the blood is kind of comical, but it is still a visceral freaking scary movie. And it's kind of I think I'm lucky enough to have seen it roughly around the time when it came out, even if it was 4 years later, because I didn't have anything to compare it to. And now that we do, it maybe doesn't have as much impact, but it sure impacted me.
Yeah. It's a good, solid movie.
Yeah.
But Erik, it's that time, and I just feel I'm always feel embarrassed because we haven't come up with a rating system yet for movies. We haven't we're always talking about it. You and I were texting about it and back and forth, and I can't ever. And then it's time to record. Mm-hmm. And I just feel bad because we haven't come up with anything yet sort of a rating.
Yes, we have. Of course we have. We have come up with a solid scoring system.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we had actually landed on one.
Oh, yeah.
So what is it?
It's 9 out of 10 zombie scalps. It's it's 8 out of 10 Corky zombies.
Good. All right, so we'll have to log that, and I think that'll work for every movie that we do.
Sure. Doesn't change since we started.
We do some other movie, and we're like, it's 10 out of 10 Corky zombies.
Yeah.
We're like, what?
10 out of 10 Corky-Z's.
Yeah, right. All right, Erik. Well, it's been great talking about this absolutely iconic movie again. Yeah. We've had a great time this week on Midnight Cinema. Join us next time. We'll have another movie here for you to enjoy. You can find us at midnightcinemapod.com. You can email us at midnightcinemapod@gmail.com. Please let us know any movies you'd like us to cover. Give us a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Thanks to everybody who's following us on those platforms. We're getting our episodes every week. We really appreciate it. So sign up there and listen every week. We love having you, Erik.
Yeah.
It's been great.
It's been great with you. Hold on, Art. Somebody's at the door.
Oh, no.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh, no.
Hello?
What? Eric?
Hello?
I don't think you should. Eric, I don't. Oh! Okay, everybody. I think we'll see you next week. Sorry, Eric!